Teachers were on hand at both Carnes Middle and Carnes High School today just in case the students needed to talk. But they say that everyone, including those riding bus number 150, seemed to be in good spirits. So Saturday's $215 million jackpot now ties for the highest.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
I can't imagine. I imagine it all the time. I dream about it.
Because of the prevalence of the flu in the area and the fact that it's here earlier than expected, many doctors' offices and health departments are swamped with people who are trying to get a flu shot now. Counting carbs might not be the way to go when it comes to long-term weight loss. That is according to Consumer Reports magazine. Well, we were complaining that it was cold, and now everybody's complaining that it's hot. Kids are so enticed by candy, but the problem is they don't always know the difference between candy and medicine. Can you tell the difference between this Red Hot and Sudafed pill? And since 1964, when the Surgeon General released the first U.S. report on smoking and health, more than 2 million Americans have died from lung cancer that was smoking related. And I'm Nancy Lynn Trenum. Thanks so much for joining us here for WVLT Volunteer TV News, first at 4.
We will have that story in just a moment, but first this afternoon, the nation's capital was gripped with fear for about 15 minutes today.
This as the White House and the Capitol were evacuated because of an approaching plane. The plane, escorted away by fighter jets and a combat helicopter, is now on the ground in a D.C. suburb. 2 men were taken into custody. Family members say the man, a student pilot, and his teacher were headed to North Carolina. A source says they told authorities they were having radio problems. Senate Majority Leader Bill Frist says the evacuations were handled well by everyone involved. And during the security alert, Vice President Dick Cheney was evacuated to a secure location. President Bush was not at home at the time. He was out riding his bike. A county investigator is among 6 people dead, including 3 children found shot to death in a California home on Tuesday. Authorities say there were no signs of a break-in or a struggle, and there is no reason at this point to suspect any motive other than murder-suicide. Well, letter carriers are asking that you place canned goods with your outgoing mail this Saturday to help feed the hungry in our area. This morning, Second Harvest Food Bank kicked off its annual National Association of Letter Carriers Food Drive. The food drive is this Saturday, and if you want to participate, put your canned food in a bag, hang it on your mailbox by 9 a.m. Your letter carrier will pick it up and take it to Second Harvest, and on Monday, the food that is collected will be distributed to 220 Knox County agencies that help the less fortunate. And welcome back to First at 4. We have some breaking news to share with you this afternoon involving a school bus accident. Apparently, a school bus has rolled down the hill. You're looking at some live pictures from our Eye in the Sky. Pete Michaels says, we're not sure if there were children on board. We're still waiting for information to come in. So again, school bus accident near West Emory Road on Glastonbury Road. And we're going to go to Pete Michaels. There's the live pictures. You can kind of see the area. There were children on board. There are some early reports now that some of the children in this school bus may be pinned. So, of course, all the information coming in is coming in slowly. So as we get it, we will share it with you. Again, breaking news this afternoon, a school bus accident where a school bus has rolled down the hill happened near West Emory Road on Glastonbury Road. And again, some children may be injured as we understand these initial reports coming in. On the field, Coach Eddie Courtney is a fighter. It's a characteristic he'll use now as he faces cancer. Doctors diagnosed the coach with Hodgkin's disease, a cancer that attacks the lymph nodes and other lymphatic tissues. The good news is Hodgkin's disease can be up to 90% curable if it's caught early enough.
This disease is not the threat to life that it used to be.
Oncologist Dr. Bruce Avery says Coach Courtney will likely undergo 6 months of chemotherapy, followed possibly by radiation, depending on the size of the cancerous tumors that have developed in his chest.
When someone is taking chemotherapy, they look sick, but sometimes it's from the very treatment that's going to cure them, so you have to sort of allow them to go through those symptoms in order to have the best result.
Doctors are not sure what causes people like Coach Courtney to develop Hodgkin's disease, but they do know winning the battle against this matchup is a strong possibility.
It's a good chance of curing it, and modern treatment is usually very effective.
Coach Courtney is 51 years old, and doctors say it's unusual for him to be facing this type of cancer. Hodgkin's disease usually affects people in their 20s and 30s and after age 60. Coach Courtney says he's ready to take on this challenge, though, with the same strength that he uses on the field. Nancy Lynn Trenum, WVLT Volunteer TV News. 73-year-old Rick Atherson never thought he'd be a candidate for colon cancer. His family history is cancer-free, and he never had any symptoms of the disease. Still, his wife Linda, who's also his business partner in a travel agency, made him go for a colonoscopy just in case.
I had all the confidence in the world because I had no symptoms. This was just because my wife wanted me to go in.
But during the routine colonoscopy, doctors found colon cancer and removed 7 inches of his colon.
And Rick is not alone. About 75% of the people who develop colorectal cancer are 50 or older and have no other identifiable risk factors.
I don't want to call this an epidemic, but it's darn close.
Dr. Sarkis Chobanian is a gastroenterologist. He says colon cancer cases are on the rise, even though it's preventable and curable if caught early enough. One way to screen for the cancer is with a colonoscopy, where a doctor checks your colon for precancerous polyps.
Nowadays, it's so easy. The way that most of the gastroenterologists in town do it now, it is painless. You will have absolutely zero sensation.
And if you have Medicare, the procedure is covered.
Medicare has made it a Medicare benefit, just like mammography. And more other commercial insurance companies are following Medicare's guidelines.
Rick says his colonoscopy caught his cancer before it was too late and saved his life. Now he wears the yellow Live Strong wristband. He says he's thankful for the opportunity to live and be healthy.
This year is Lipitor.
72-year-old Shirley Roach takes 11 prescription medications every day. She's a retired nursing assistant that was the picture of health until heart problems set in a few years ago. Now she spends over $300 a month, over half of her total income, on medicine. So when she saw this ad in the News Sentinel recently promising free medicine, she was thrilled.
I thought, how great. And I was so excited. I called my daughter.
The ad is for a company called Free Medicine Direct. It looks very convincing with the bold headline and the quotes touting the program from the New York Times, Orlando Business Journal, and a television station in Indiana. But when you call the 1-800 number, you find that enrolling in the program costs $200, and there is no guarantee you'll get any medicines free.
There was no way after they said $200. I said, with the medication that I take, you know, there's no way I couldn't afford it.
What you get for your $200 are these patient assistant program applications from drug companies, which are the programs set up to help low-income patients get medicine at a low cost or free, depending on your income.
Although the company's not doing anything illegal, they are charging you for something that you can get for free at your doctor's office if you just ask.
It's a ripoff.
Nurse practitioner Mark Pruitt says doctors' offices have the patient assistance forms in their offices, and most will even help you fill them out free. That is exactly what Free Medicine Direct says it will do for $200.
But anytime information is supposed to be free, that's what it's supposed to be.
Jeannie Hoskins from the Better Business Bureau says they have received hundreds of calls about Free Medicine Direct and similar programs. She says they're not a good investment. In fact, not only are the patient assistance applications available at your doctor's office for free, you can download any of these forms free at this website, needymeds.com.
It's definitely something that anybody can do, and you don't have to pay for it.
So what does Free Medicine Direct, the company, say about the criticism? Representatives declined an interview but say, we are a fee-based consulting service trying to make the process as easy as possible for consumers. Now, what about those quotes in the ad from the news organizations that tout the program? Well, I checked with the New York Times, the Orlando Business Journal, and the TV station in Indiana, and none gave their permission to be included in the ad. And the quotes were from news stories that had nothing to do with Free Medicine Direct. Well, what did the News Sentinel think about all of this? Representatives declined an interview but issued a statement saying, after further investigation, we have found that some of the information in the ad is misleading. We have since pulled this advertisement for Free Medicine Direct. And that brings us back to Shirley Roach. How does she feel about Free Medicine Direct now?
Extremely glad that I did not sign up.
And she says she's very glad to know that she can sign up for many programs that will help her, truly free of charge. Nancy Lynn, Trenum, WVLT Volunteer TV News.